Ready? Rolling.
Rolling. So we're very excited about this Watch With Me. Watch With Me is watching a fight, usually one that I haven't seen before, and so it's very fresh and it's like real responses.
A fight from the golden age. This is Kevin.
This is
off
Kevin.
camera.
Off camera. And we're going to watch it together and comment together. We're very excited about this one because this one is a incredibly rare to see fight, but it's a huge, important fight, which is Dieselnoi versus Samart.
Well, when you say rare to see, the only people we know who've seen it were the people who are in the stadium.
Video of this doesn't, we didn't think it existed.
This is the holy grail of golden age legendary fights.
We found Atlantic City.
And this was posted by a patron of yours, so we just grabbed it, and we have not watched it. This is arguably to see who was the greatest fighter of all time.
Yes. And it determined who was Fighter of the Year in 1982. This took place on Christmas Eve, December 24th, 1982. And it was, we've heard Dieselnoi talk about this, a very difficult weigh-in for Dieselnoi.
Dieselnoi was the 135-pound Lumpini champion, unbeatable at this point. He had he was going to retire the belt because he had no opponents, and he fought Samart, who was the 126-pound champion. So there's a big weight class difference there. This is a catchweight fight, and
however, Samart got the weight advantage in the fight.
So Samart weighed in at 133 pounds, and Dieselnoi dropped all the way down to 129.7 pounds. He lost 19 pounds in a few weeks. He still talks to this day about how crushing the weight loss was. He feels like it hurt his health decades later.
To this day,
he talks about it, and we're hoping to maybe do a Watch With Me with Dieselnoi on this. So this is kind of incredible. It's the greatest knee fighter ever versus the greatest femur fighter ever. And Samart had just had the previous year won Fighter of the Year, and then the next year after this, Samart wins Fighter of the Year again. Yeah. So we are seeing Muay Thai royalty here, and this is a fight.
Let's watch.
I don't know. I'm excited.
Let's watch it.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. So Dieselnoi's the tall one.
He's talked about how depleted he felt in this fight. I remember Sylvie's trained with Samart in the Muay Thai Library, but she's trained a lot with Dieselnoi, so she knows Dieselnoi very well.
And this is at Rajadamnern, which is not where Dieselnoi had his belt.
Wansung Chai criticized this fight. He's like, the weight drop in this, he said he wouldn't have put this fight on.
He said it wasn't an appropriate match.
Yeah. So,
watching Dieselnoi's form, he still does this. He looks very different now, but his silhouette
he's 58
movement
now.
is still the same.
Yeah, the silhouette is the same.
Oh.
So Dieselnoi often talks about how he wants to encroach on his opponent and not strike.
Yeah.
He's like, let them strike. He wants in the early rounds for Samart to attack him, but Samart's a very slick fighter, as you just saw, right?
Yeah, and Samart switches stance, which is very annoying.
Look how relaxed Samart is.
I happen to know that Dieselnoi hates getting punched in the face, and Samart landed a pretty good punch like a minute ago.
You get that nice silky turnoff by Samart. Samart's just nullifying.
Samart is like the king of looking totally relaxed, like he's just on a bus stop but kicking your ass, and then Dieselnoi is the I am gonna hunt you down and eat you king.
This is very interesting though, because Dieselnoi wants to be attacked, and Samart is like, no, that's not gonna happen early on.
Samart is doing what Dieselnoi said he did, which is this turn off. So Dieselnoi is coming to knee him, and Samart has this beautiful dodge out that's driving Dieselnoi crazy, but it's only round one. So I guess it doesn't matter.
And if you're new to Muay
yet.
Thai, the first two rounds are not super scoring rounds. They're pace setting, context setting rounds. So they're both kind of
pacing.
Pacing.
Yeah,
pacing.
I just made a face because Dieselnoi threw a really beautiful right kick, and I kind of have never seen Dieselnoi kick.
Well, there's almost no footage of him fighting a full fight against a Thai opponent. There's a little bit of his fight against Nong Kai, also a Fighter of the Year at one point.
Yeah, but Dieselnoi was also quite young in that fight.
Look at
Samart's bounce is nice. I like his little like bounce out.
Boy, look at that! He's freezing. He's freezing Dieselnoi.
He's smiling at him.
He's freezing Dieselnoi.
Oh, this thing that Dieselnoi does with his arms is my favorite.
Oh, look at that slip.
That's what he got so mad about.
He being Dieselnoi?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Try to meet my length of arms.
Didn't Dieselnoi say they were friends at this point already?
He said they were already friends, and going into the fight, like when they touched gloves, Samart was like, "Demti, like go 100%." Dieselnoi was
well,
like,
this
all
was
right,
a
then.
huge gambled fight, I bet.
Oh,
I bet there was a lot of money on this.
Yeah.
Round 2. This is just Muay Thai history never seen before. Like, it's unreal. There's an exhibition fight many years later with shirts on that is available, but they're not actually fighting in that fight.
Yeah, as well as one that we saw in person that was like 30 years later.
Yeah, you filmed that one.
But just looking at their gloves, they're like oven mitts. Like every time I see it, he's trying to get in there.
Man, you can already see Dieselnoi's getting a little frustrated with the slip outs.
Oh, get him in the corner.
Oh.
Oi.
Samart is basically, I'm just going to nullify you this whole fight.
Yeah.
Like, if Dieselnoi can't catch him, he can't win this fight.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, he's slipping under that lead arm.
Beautiful. Samart is just doing these little things. Like he's not extending himself, I guess. Oh, I like the distance Dieselnoi has though. Like he's so long, but he's staying quite close.
He's a little bit not cutting off the ring. He's circling right a lot.
Well, that's why he keeps like ducking into the ropes while Samart pivots off.
Yeah, but he's having a problem with Samart. Samart's just circling right.
Oh, high kicks on a high tower.
Oh, you cannot get the inside position on Samart. He got locked out.
Very interesting.
Got framed out.
Oh. But Dieselnoi got those 2 knees, though.
Yeah, and Samart's chin went up in the air, which breaks Roop, which breaks the figure a little bit. Samart looking. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. Looks like Samart is fatiguing a little.
A little.
His hands are hanging low.
When you're the rabbit running. And you have to keep running, but you're starting to get
this is knee to the head. This is quintessential Muay Cow versus Muay Femur. It's all about, will the rabbit get caught?
Yeah. And so far the rabbit's a little bit of a catch and release program.
Nah, he's starting to catch him already in the second round.
Oh, those knees are coming at that angle.
Oh, and down. Even though it was a little bit of a slip maybe, it doesn't look good because the femur fighter has to maintain the impression that they're having no impact on him. Oh, he hasn't.
Samart's doing his little switching, coming backwards thing that's closing his open side to Dieselnoi as he's moving, but he's not striking.
The fatigue is showing.
He said he did that.
Who's he?
Dieselnoi kneed up into the back of Samart's shoulder to tire out his arms. Oh, it's getting scrappy.
Yeah.
Get him.
Oh, those shove-offs are very difficult. No, I don't think he looks good in that shove-off, baby. He's looking fatigued. This is already second round.
I don't think it looks good. It's that it's so hard to get someone like that off of you.
See,
his head is like getting kind of pulled.
Yeah. That was a very difficult round for Samart in the second round. Like, second round is not even the meat of the fight yet. Yeah, but you're telling a story.
Yeah, and so now Dieselnoi has to cash these checks that he's starting to write.
He's already cashing them a little bit. When you start showing fatigue on a fighter like Samart, I mean, Samart's career was basically ice skating.
To me,
with
Samart looked
beautiful
tired all the time, but just stayed very
No.
slick. Oh, he looked so tired to me all the time.
Not to everyone else in Muay Thai who scored all his fights.
I'm so bored. When will this be over?
Yeah, he's not looking that way though. Here, will be a very interesting round because Samart is now got to basically frame up what his story is.
Dieselnoi's teeping and teeping, which is what he screams at everybody.
Open side kick by Dieselnoi.
That was a nice clip.
This frame is very. Here you see Samart is taking on somebody, I think 2 weight classes up in terms of frame.
Right.
Like, he has great reputation. Samart is Thailand's greatest fighter when he's fighting this, and he's fighting this
the
giant.
golden boy, yeah.
Yeah, he risked a lot taking this fight, probably.
Nice catch from Dieselnoi, but Samart didn't go down.
Also beautiful is you can see Dieselnoi has a complete game. He's not just a marching knee fighter. He's throwing every weapon.
Yeah, he talks so much about getting people in the ropes, but Samart's movement is so slick that he's having trouble keeping him in the ropes, so they're fighting in the middle of the ring more than I think he likes to.
Oh, those push-offs aren't good.
That one didn't
because
look
his
good.
head is being pulled down by Dieselnoi.
Yeah.
Oh, nice overhand. Another overhand.
Samart had very nice heavy punches. They don't look as powerful as they are, but he was knocking
another
people
overhand.
out.
That's actually a really good weapon against tall fighters, is the overhand.
Yeah.
Oh, these shove-offs are difficult because over time they're not going to play well.
Oh, that
Open
one
side
landed.
knee. Open side. Oh man, you can see the reach problem.
Dieselnoi's at my gym 3 times a week for the past 6 months.
Man, the overhand landed behind the ear there.
By looking at my trainer's faces when he's kneeing through the belly pad, he knees so hard. Watching him fight Samart and Samart's taking these knees. Samart is fucking strong, man.
Lead knee to the open side. Nice
did you see that uppercut?
Yeah, beautiful. That made Dieselnoi go to Dracula guard, that uppercut a little bit.
Yeah, and he's getting his legs kicked a little bit.
Look at that. Lead knee to the open side. Samart's got to defend that right side. It's his open side.
Oh, he's swinging hard.
Oh, man.
Hook the arms, Dieselnoi. Dude.
Man, that overhand right is the only thing really doing damage for Samart.
Yeah, and it doesn't score that high. He's off balancing Dieselnoi, which is good, but
He has to wobble him.
yeah. All he's got is that bounce.
Oh man, nice jab from Dieselnoi.
Yeah.
He's not known for his strikes, his hands at all.
Those knees. Oh, I've never seen that.
What is it?
Samart was like, his back foot flopped up, like he was so off balance on that punch.
Oh man.
Oh, that one was what it should have looked like. Oh, right
man.
at the bell.
And then at the bell, Samart shows fatigue.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Dieselnoi's not looking too happy about that punch that just happened, though.
What punch happened?
Samart like hooked him at the bell, like as the bell was, I'm guessing as the bell was ringing based on how they stopped. But it landed pretty good. It's exciting.
It looks like perfect fight progression for Dieselnoi. From the first round to the second round to the third round, he is just painting a picture of relentless knee pressure.
Yeah.
It's not clinched knees, grabs knee.
No, they're distance
They're
knees.
distance knees.
With a little bit of clinch.
A little bit thrown in, yeah.
Oh.
Dieselnoi's using a little bit of that Dracula guard.
And he's using his front side really nicely to set up for the back side.
His front side is scoring.
Yeah.
That lead knee into that lead knee over.
That left knee. Switch stance, Samart. That left knee's nasty.
He did. Now he's switched and he got kneed on the other side.
Yeah, my advice was not good.
Dieselnoi is tracking the open side. He just went to the other knee.
Totally.
This is something that's missing from a lot of Western fighting, and the Thais really watch the open side and score open side.
It's like duck hunt. They're like ping, ping, ping.
Yeah. He's trying to throw that knee.
Samart's not even backing up that much anymore. He's standing in there.
He has to wobble Dieselnoi.
Yeah, which is hard to fucking do. Look at him. Look at the arm control.
By who?
Both of them, honestly. But
there's
Dieselnoi is kind of like
Dieselnoi
tracking
guard.
it.
Yeah. Low kick.
Oh,
no!
Why did he come off? That's because they're friends.
You think?
I think.
You think Dieselnoi?
I do.
Oh, this little bounce was a little bit of a restorative moment, almost.
I think Dieselnoi let him out for a second.
Yeah. It is so incredible that Samart took this fight, like fighting somebody that nobody in Thailand would fight at his weight, his own weight, and Samart comes up 2 weight classes.
He's staying southpaw more often now, Samart, but he keeps switching back. I think he's trying to keep closing.
This is his 4th round. It looks like basically the fight has been decided between them.
Yeah, it does.
In a way, if Samart lands something big, it could change.
Yeah, but Samart's backing up a lot, but not in a I won, come get me way.
Yeah. Maybe he's restoring himself, waiting for something big he could do.
Or just not getting hit by those knees so much.
Well, yeah, he wants to win this fight.
Yeah, for sure. He's not giving up.
Here we go.
Oh.
Head kick from Dieselnoi and a jab. It's so beautiful to see how Dieselnoi is using the jab. Like, there's no video evidence from his fighting, really. Very little.
Getting a head kick on Dieselnoi, that was nice. Dieselnoi's got a nice dodge
back. You see Dieselnoi do a little lean back?
Yeah, he dodged one of Samart's kicks a minute ago, and I've actually never seen him do that. He doesn't do that now, so who would know? But look at him put that front hand out.
This is classic Dieselnoi guard.
Classic.
Yeah. That's a rough.
Who's tired?
That's a rough fight. That's a very rough fight.
We got one more.
The problem is Dieselnoi owns the space so thoroughly.
Yeah.
And Samart just doesn't have the frame and reach to inflict damage.
And he has beautiful strikes, Samart, but they don't affect Dieselnoi with the impact that they need to in order for his occasional points to really move the meter.
I mean, this is not only is the weight class difference, but the frame is so people talk about Dieselnoi winning so much because of his height, but there's very few dominant super tall fighters. He learned how to maximize all of his angles.
Totally. Oh, that was good timing.
So this is 5th round. Dieselnoi is still coming forward.
Totally, because
that's how we go. Usually in Thailand, in 5th round, if you have the fight secured, you might dance off. But this is Dieselnoi. Nope. I'm going to keep the pressure to the end.
Nope.
He's open side kicking with that lead leg. Continues to score.
It's nice teeps too. Oh, Samart's punching a lot now, which when you see a fighter in the 5th round punching a lot, they're behind.
But he's been punching the whole fight.
He's got good punches too, though. So
he's a world champion boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so difficult. And Dieselnoi is in incredible shape at this point in his life.
This is nice. It's relentless, but it's not rushed.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that lockup. Look at him get his head in. Oh!
Sylvie's a Muay Thai fighter, so she has great affinity for this style. Right?
Yeah. Oh, head kick from Samart. That was beautiful. It chopped down.
And then that overhand again.
Oh, another one. Another one. And on the other side.
He's going for it. He's going for the... Oh, an uppercut. Perfect against the long fighter. And a head kick again. He's going for it.
Totally. Late in the fight, too.
Yeah, it's like watching horse race, and then the horse makes a dash from behind. He
tried it again.
Oh,
Not
man.
this time, friends.
Samart is leaving nothing.
I can see why people loved Samart. For him to fight like this round 5 with
so
how
beautiful.
hard this fight is.
So beautiful. Oh, man. There it is.
No.
Oh man. So at the end of this year, Dieselnoi wins Fighter of the Year, his Fighter of the Year award. Not long after this, he has to give up his Limpini belt, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact on the dates. Look at that long arm cross guard. It's an impossible solve.
Yeah.
If Dieselnoi's in shape and fights like this, I'm not sure that a 126-pound champion can affect him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
These are arguably the 2 greatest fighters who ever fought in the heyday.
Master Yodtong in the striped shirt, I believe. From Sid Yodtongjum, for people who know that name.
Oh, that's incredible.
Dieselnoi, I think, would turn
21?
He was born in 1961. This is 1982, and he's born late December. So he had a few more years in him before he retired
when he was 24. Yeah. But
he
even when he retired, he wasn't fighting anymore.
Yeah.
Look
at him just get out. They didn't even fucking do the whole, let's all get in the middle of the ring thing. Everyone knew.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a very brave fight for Samart to take. Honestly. Man. You're fighting an unfightable fighter way, way up in weight and in frame.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that fight. That was awesome.
And so special to see what nobody can see, which is Dieselnoi's
relentlessness,
total style.
Yeah.
Like there's no video evidence of that. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. So for people who follow Sylvie closely, we do a podcast called Muay Thai Bones. We have a library coffee, which is a espresso edition of Muay Thai Bones, but Muay Thai Bones itself is us driving across Thailand, talking about all things Muay Thai. Look, the podcast goes for like 3 hours.
Very long.
It's free on YouTube, but patrons get the audio subscription version. So what we're doing here is just having some kind of reaction to what we just saw as the Muay Thai Bones podcast, like our dynamic,
right,
to give further context of what that was.
Yeah.
Now, one of the weird things about this footage is it was nowhere.
Well, tell people what it is.
Well, this is right. This is going to be right after the fight.
You guys just saw it. You already know what it is.
You just saw it. So, this footage, from what we've heard, collectors keep footage from rare footage of Muay Thai, and it tends to stay in very small groups. And for some reason, this footage got posted by a patron, and so we are apologies to everyone who keeps this footage secret, but it's now out. So it is pretty incredible that like this footage has to be made public eventually in history.
There's this incredible and simultaneously sad thing when talking to Dieselnoi about there's very little footage of Dieselnoi.
Like there's only his part, like a couple minutes of his fight with Nong Kai. I don't know, is there any fight of his against a Thai, a high-level Thai, that exists other than the Nong Kai footage? I don't think so.
He fights in Japan or America or something, like kickboxing against Muay Thai or whatever. And then there's the like open training video. But when you talk to him about footage of himself, about footage of his fights, there's this total like, no, there's none, it's gone. Like he has this like, I lost it in a fire kind of.
Well, he has no hope that there is footage somewhere.
Like, there's nothing.
And he even has a sense like it might be out there, but it will never
surface.
Never surface.
Like it's lost.
He had his greatness before things were captured and disseminated.
Yeah.
And so all that really existed of his greatness are these little clips that he watches on his his phone, like he watches his clips, right?
Yeah.
And also the Muay Thai Library sessions that we've put up, like 3, I think, where he outlines his style.
Yeah.
But it's like never seeing a wild cat in the wild.
Well,
you see them in the zoo.
We joke that Dieselnoi is like the Sasquatch or like abominable snowman of Muay Thai. Like even people who knew he was a legend when he was like top of his game, like my trainer Krunu was a kid when Dieselnoi was at the top, and he had never really seen him. Like unless you saw his fight on TV or in person.
Not even
on
wasn't
TV.
On TV.
It's like nothing.
Pinu was told to fight like Dieselnoi,
but he'd never
seen Dieselnoi, and probably the people telling him to fight like Dieselnoi might not have ever seen him either. Dieselnoi was known through magazines, through photographs, through word of mouth reports,
like true mythology legend kind of thing. And what I've noted in training with so many legends from the Golden Age is that their styles like steep, like over the years since they stopped retiring, they kind of like really condense and bring together their style. Like if you learn from Sagat, beautiful, like everything he teaches is just fucking economy and gorgeous, but he didn't fight quite like that. He fought like that, but he didn't fight like that.
Well, they purify.
That's the word I'm looking for.
They boil it down to an essence because they think about what they did, and they also think about things that were successful against themselves.
Right.
So, like, Dieselnoi took Wang Chinoi's low kicks. Not Wang Chinoi. Wichinoi's low kicks.
Totally.
And teaches them now. Yeah.
Totally. And so for me to actually see him and see like what the like kind of
the living vocabulary
of it was like he doesn't teach that part. And like his memory of the fight, what he thought was the most like important part was like looping Samart's arms so that he couldn't punch him anymore. I didn't see it at all.
Maybe he did that later in an exhibition fight.
I'm like, your teeps and knees are just the whole fucking thing.
So this is really first, regardless of who won this fight, it is the documentary evidence of one of the greatest fighters, arguably the greatest fighter ever. He had the misfortune of having a bodily frame that was like nobody else.
Yeah.
So people discount his uniqueness, and they hold it against him.
Yeah.
But you saw in this fight the full, I said vocabulary, but it's more living than that. It's like his extemporaneous use of guard and low strikes and pressure, like the quality of his pressure against people who really regard as the greatest fighter ever. I mean, Samart everyone gives the nod to Samart in that discussion. It was very beautiful. We spend time with Dieselnoi in the gym. We see him, he's at Petronrung gym at this time. For 6 months, we brought him in, and we see him talk about these things.
Yeah.
But this is 30 years or something more than when this happened. To see it in its full fluidity is just mind-blowing.
But we also, I mentioned briefly in the actual Watch With Me how seeing trainers' faces getting kneed through a pad by a soon-to-be 58-year-old man whose power is certainly not what it was when he was 22, the hardness of fighters from that time that were taking knees from Dieselnoi, and I'll say this about Samart, to still look beautiful taking that. He did not fall apart. Like his his timing was beautiful. His like, okay, now you bounce out, you stay this distance, all this stuff. Like he is not falling apart at all. Like Samart,
well,
you're
I
looking
disagree
like
to a
best of the
certain
best.
degree. The thing about Samart is that he is able to endure onslaughts of fighters. Like Muay Thai fighters were put against him all the time. Nampon fought him several times, and Samart is like, looks like he's never moving out of second gear because he doesn't have to. Like that's part of his style.
And Nampon's not big. I mean, Dieselnoi's not big either, but his frame is just enormous.
But I'm saying what the Muay Thai fighters' tactic or strategy is to show effect.
Yes.
And he definitely showed effect on Samart, and it is really hard to do that.
Yes.
Because Samart is like the genius of nothing can affect me. And you could see what Samart wanted to do in that first round.
Yeah.
Where he was just like parrying that arm and just like scooting out in these beautiful silky
but then
ways.
The ice cracks.
Yeah, and we also have to say about Samart though, face is a huge deal in many Asian countries. In Thailand, a huge deal. Samart is at the top of his game. He had just won Fighter of the year before. To take this fight is pretty incredible. Yeah. Like it would be very easy to be like, nobody can beat me. Nobody can beat me. Like nobody would be like, you're ducking Dieselnoi.
Totally.
And
because people were ducking Dieselnoi. He had very few
everyone was ducking him, And I'm like, a hidden story in this is really, even though Samart really got checkmated by style and anatomy in this, it was noble how Samart fought.
Yes.
And I like how people in the West want to see like a brawl to the end, right? Like aggro, I want to kill you.
Hail Mary.
There's this subtle thing that happened in that fight. In the fourth round, when Dieselnoi had Samart locked, and he let him go because there was this recognition of dignity, and they continued to fight. It wasn't like a show fight at that point. They continued to fight, and Samart saved up for his home stretch in the fifth round.
Yeah.
He's like, uppercuts are gonna come, head kicks are gonna come on both sides. He's like, every every possibility I have to beat you in this crazy anatomy difference, I'm gonna throw it.
Yeah.
And there's a beautiful sportsmanship about that.
Yeah.
Like, we want to see, like, you just did a watch with me with Nam Kabun, who was talking about his fight with Decker. And he's like, we don't have to fight to the death.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean there's no fight.
Yeah.
Like, it almost like there's this agreement at that point where it's like, we're gonna still fight, and I know you're coming for the win later. Like,
yeah,
almost that feeling, like, and Dieselnoi's like, I'm waiting for it and I'm ready for it.
I feel like that's a byproduct or expression of how Muay Thai is about dominance, not aggression. And so it's like, you've been dominated, and so we both have dignity in this. Whereas aggression is like, just fucking like, bang it until it's broken or whatever, like just keep it going. So the difference between aggression and dominance sometimes is expressed in that kind of
It's very beautiful. Like, I know they were friends, and Dieselnoi is actually one of the most likable and loved people in Muay Thai, probably even when he was in his 20s, like when he was active fighter. But there's an incredible like handshake between these men in this fight. And I'd also want to be like, I also want to say, I said it during the commentary, we want to like attribute his greatness, his unbeatableness to his size. And tall fighters, there are not a lot of tall dominant fighters. There were a few who were taller, and Potsai
was tall.
Was before Dieselnoi.
Was considered tall.
Yeah, but there's something incredible. Like, when you're a tall fighter, you have a lot of disadvantages also.
Oh, the balance is a huge thing.
Right?
It's huge.
And Dieselnoi showed this incredible lightness and balance and variety of his strikes that, thank God, there's a record of it, because otherwise you can just theorize about it.
Yeah.
And you have this like fineness of technique married to crazy anatomy.
Yeah.
And then you have incredible conditioning.
Yeah.
Like, if Dieselnoi was not in the condition that he was in, and he said he was very weakened by his weight cut.
Yeah.
But so his conditioning made him actually be able to perform at a very high level in this fight. If he was a lesser conditioned fighter, there is a possibility that Samart could have cracked this fight open.
Yeah.
Like, with his strategy of dodge offs and make Dieselnoi look like he's chasing him more and never catching the rabbit.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Dieselnoi says a lot of things repeatedly because he has points that he makes, but he talks about how of all the styles, Muay Thai is the most tired all the time. Like, the way you train, this endlessness, all of this stuff. The beauty of the style matchup of Muay Thai versus Muay Femur is that it's a very simplified version of what's going on, is like those chase scenes in movies where the one guy is running ahead and like throwing everything in front of the
like
path.
Running through the kitchen in the hotel?
Yeah, and you're like, put the pan and then put this here and then like drop the marbles on the ground. Like, you're basically trying to stop the person who's just consistently coming. Femur, which is Samart's fucking, he is the golden boy of, is in round 5, he's doing things he wasn't doing. He's like, I also have these things. And you're like, where did that come from? Whereas Dieselnoi is not simple. You're not like he's doing the same thing over and over again, but you're like, that's okay, it didn't get you, because it's gonna.
His long juggling was so beautiful. His use of his guard. Like, I can't wait to watch this fight 100 times and just look at Dieselnoi's guard. This like layered, staggered guard.
Yeah.
And now after this fight, it was like, no, really, Dieselnoi is unbeatable.
Yep.
And he had just beaten the best fighter in Thailand, albeit there's a anatomy difference and weight difference probably at game time, at fight time. After this, he went up a weight class and fought Sagat, who was probably one of the most feared fighters ever in Thailand.
Knockout
and
king.
there is a there's misinformation on the internet because of a incorrect interview of Sagat. People think that Sagat beat Dieselnoi. Dieselnoi beat Sagat 2 times. They fought twice. Dieselnoi won both times. I think they fought 6 or 4 months apart, the two. But following this fight, Dieselnoi had just gone down as far as he could humanly get. He still talks about the weight cut. And then he goes up and fights a monster in Sagat and beats him 2 times in a row, up in weight. He beat the next largest fighter. And so you have a fighter who fought the bookends of his own physicality.
Yeah, and
like there's something about that that's incredible.
There's a thing, and I don't want to divide it between Thailand and the West because it happens here too. But there's this like, nobody will fight me, I have no opponents, I won't budge from my spot. Dieselnoi went like this and was like, nobody will, like, they won't fight me up here, they won't fight me down here. Like he wanted to fight so bad. Like,
there is this, when you first met him that first time, he talked about how depressed he was.
He said when they would raise his hand in victory, his heart broke every time because he's like, it'll be a year before I fight again. I'm crying.
Yeah. And it was, you can tell to this day he's 58 years old.
Nobody loves Muay Thai the way Dieselnoi does. And like, I know people
We've
who
been
really
around
love
a lot
Muay
of people
Thai.
who love Muay Thai, right?
Master K, my first trainer, was like the person who ignited my heart. Like he hit the spark, fucking put gas on it. I
training
love
in his basement into his 70s in New Jersey. Like, he keeps the Kindle, the fire of Muay Thai alive.
These legends who I train with, when they like me, they're like, I like this one. I can tell you love Muay Thai. I think Dieselnoi loves Muay Thai
Than
more than I do. Like,
than
more
anybody.
than anybody.
Arjun Sarat, another one who is just like burning
and
with Muay Thai.
And it's so sad. Like, it's a tragedy. People are like, oh, no one can fight me, I'm the best. It's a tragedy because you don't get to fight. Like, Dieselnoi was not ready to stop fighting, and it was taken from him, and it's this, like, open wound.
He talks about, even when he could no longer have opponents, he trained everybody in the Tanakun, isn't that the gym?
Hopalong.
The Hopalong gym. He continued to train all his mates, but he stayed in fight condition.
Just in case.
Himself.
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
He was like ready to get in the ring.
Totally.
And there must have been something complicated about no opponents. Like, he had very powerful connections and gamblers. So people were like, oh, no, I don't want to just lose a shitload of money.
Yeah, I'm not going to throw money at you.
So there probably was something. It wasn't people were afraid of Dieselnoi. Thailand was filled with some of the toughest men who ever fought on the planet.
Yep.
But the politics and the money of the situation was, and then Dieselnoi having fought this fight against Samart and then Sagat, and then he ended his career against Kronsak.
Twice.
Kronsak, his first time, a much bigger fighter. Kronsak got a draw against Dieselnoi and even feels he won that fight, and then they rematch, and Dieselnoi's like, I'm not even going to come after you, I'm going to teep you. And Dieselnoi,
Krongsak's like, what do I do now?
and Dieselnoi won that, and that was like, I think, his last fight in Thailand.
His last fight.
So, I don't know. It's also cool that we have another Samart fight. It's just because there's not a lot of footage of him fighting top Thais either, like full fights. This is a full fight you get to see from round 1 to round 5.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's something very special here.
Yeah.
And I hope more footage from this era gets released out there.
Totally.
Because these men are going to be forgotten. They're just going to be names. Their styles, which no longer exist in Muay Thai, they do not exist in living Muay Thai anymore, are all going to go extinct, which is one of the reasons on the Muay Thai Library that we're doing is we're just trying to like document and record as much as we can. Archive it. And so thank you for whoever released this originally. It's so beautiful. Maybe we can do a watch with me with Dieselnoi and see what he has to say.
Show it to Dieselnoi and see what he says.
Yeah. Okay. If you guys like detailed conversations, in-depth conversations about Muay Thai, you can follow the Muay Thai Bones podcast. It's free on YouTube. We'll put a link in the description. It's just us talking to the Muay Thai to the bone, basically, right?
Sucking the marrow.
Totally. I guess that's it. Sylvie
it.
out, right?
Sylvie
Cue
out.
music.
I have spoken.
No, no.